Welcome to the Purple Positivity Podcast for April the 25th, 2018. I am your host, the amazingly adorable Rebecca Thistle, podcasting to you live-ish from my kitchen/dining room table in my apartment, which I called Jeffrey Thistlework. Yay! So, I totally recorded an entire show and didn't realize until I listened back that my mic was off. So, y'all just missed out on the greatest show ever. I'm sorry. I have deprived the world of my genius. Oh, Lord. I'm laughing at myself. I'm also very tired because I've been up since about 2 in the morning and could not sleep. And now my coffee is being mean to me. Damn you, coffee. Please don't ask me to explain that. Not that, but this is like live. This is live-ish, obviously. But, yeah. Anyway, so before I get into anything, I want to say huge congratulations to my friends Jason and Liz, who just had a baby girl yesterday. I'm so happy. She's so beautiful. Her name is Ashlyn. So, hooray, you guys. I'm so happy. Congratulations. And I wish y'all would come out to Abilene so that I could steal her. Not really. I wouldn't steal anybody's baby. But I do want to hold her because she's so beautiful and she's so tiny. And I just, Okay. Enough of that. I want to start today's show with an excerpt from the Iron Druid Chronicles. Again, what? So if you listen to this show, you should know 2 things. It is so not professional, and I am a huge fan of the Iron Druid Chronicles by Kevin Hearn, and consequently, the audiobook narrator, Luke Daniels. Never miss an opportunity to say, Luke is the best. Yay. Email. I just got an email. Startled me. But this, I'm going to attempt to recite how the entire series begins, because it's really going to tie into what I want to talk about today. So here it goes. Ready? I may mess up some of the wording here and there, and I'm sorry, Kevin. How does it go? It starts, one of the benefits of living for 21 centuries is bearing witness to the rare birth of genius. And it invariably goes something like this. A person shrugs off the weight of his cultural tradition, ignores the baleful stares of authority figures, and does something that his countrymen consider completely batshit insane. Yes. It then goes on to, this is Atticus O'Sullivan, by the way, that is narrating. And he then goes on to say that his favorite was Galileo, with Van Gogh a close second, but Van Gogh was actually batshit insane. And it sort of goes from there. But I think that's one of the best ways to open a book series. And, but here's how this is gonna, it's gonna all come together. I promise you. So, I'm also re-listening to this. I mentioned this before. I'm re-listening to this audiobook called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And I highly recommend that book because it is really good. And I mean, it has completely revolutionized the way I think about myself and my life and my goals and my pursuits and everything. It is just, it's so awesome. But in You Are a Badass, Jen has a chapter where she talks about the ego and the misconceptions about the ego. So usually when you hear ego, you think of, somebody who is egotistical. And so that means that they think they're the shit and, they're the sexiest person on the face of the planet and they're very narcissistic or they're very insecure and they're covering up with narcissism, blah, 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 blah. That's not what the ego is. It was badly translated Freud, I should say, who coins the term ego. And Freud's idea of the personality is that you had three aspects to who you were, to your spirit, your psyche, whatever. So first you have the id, and I like to think of the id as the inner toddler. I want what I want, and I want it now. It is so self-serving and self-obsessed, and, and it's the id that... It's my id that makes me just, snarf Milanos like there's no tomorrow. Oh, man. Side note, every month on my Amazon Subscribe and Save, I order a box of 2 packs of Milanos. It's little Milano cookies. They come in little packs of 2, and they're self-wrapped. And I put them on my Subscribe and Save with the idea in my head that I could take this tub of Milanos to work, and then I'd have a little snack every single day. Because two Milanos, that's a good little snack. Maybe not the healthiest snack, but, everything in moderation, that's good. Except every month, this tub of Milanos always comes on a Friday or a Saturday or something, and it does not last until Tuesday when I work. And so none of the Milanos make it to my work. And every month I say, okay, I'm going to do better. And then I never do. I did better this month, kind of. My Milanos came in on a Friday, and I didn't start snarfing until Monday. But I am officially out of Milanos now. So that did not go well. I have a reasonable explanation, I promise, but I don't feel like it's something I should be sharing. So anyways, so that's the id. The id is very self-serving and very, it's I want what I want and I want it now and fuck the rest of the world. Like I said, it's like an inner toddler. Anybody who's raised a toddler gets it. Totally gets it. So, then you have the second aspect of the personality, the spirit, whatever, is the super ego. And that's basically your inner priest. It's very morally upright, and you must serve the needs of the community and serve what is morally right and do what is best for everybody else, sort of thing. It's your inner priest. And so, of course, your inner priest is always in conflict with your inner toddler. And that's where the ego comes into play. The ego is what regulates these two sides. Okay? So that's Freud's theory. Say what you want about Freud. That's just his theory. I'm not trying to say like, oh yay, Freud, but that's his theory. That's how he put it. And any psychological experts who want to tell me I have it wrong, email me, please. I will probably not respond, and I may not even read it, but please tell me. So that's the ego. That's the personality. That's Freud's personality in a nutshell. So when you think about the ego, it's this, in that context, it's this regulatory entity within your spirit, much like your, I am not a sciencey person, but I think it's the amygdala in your brain is what moderates, like your body temperature and your heart rate, and, and maintains homeostasis within your physiological, biological, corporeal self. Same way that the ego regulates your incorporeal spiritual self. Okay? So it's like that. The ego is all about maintaining homeostasis. And so when your thoughts and your behaviors sort of swing one way too far or the other way too far, the ego is in conflict and your life goes into free fall in some way. I know. So, back to Jen Sincero. She does not like the term ego because it is so confusing. It is so misused and refers to so much negativity that people just don't really understand what that ego is. That it is this regulatory entity within your mind / soul / psyche. So she proposes that the better term for the ego is the big snooze, because ultimately, because the ego wants to maintain homeostasis, it doesn't like when you take risks. No matter the reasoning for it, it doesn't like when you take risks. It says, no. Homeostasis. Let's keep things the way they are. It is safe over here. Hit the snooze button. Don't wake up to the possibilities in your life and in your mind and in this world. Don't wake up to it. So it keeps hitting the snooze button. So it's the big snooze, right? Or, if you prefer, and I do, the BS. Oh yeah. I love you, Jen Sincero. Not that she's listening to this, but maybe one day she will. It'll be so cool. Anyways, so I love this concept of the BS as opposed to the ego, because what ends up happening is when you wake up to these possibilities in your life, in this world, and you go, hey, I want to tap into this, like your ego, your BS is going to go, no. And things will be really difficult in the interim, because that BS does not want you to take those risks. Whether this is a career change or a new relationship or a new job or moving, the BS does not want that change. Like, no, let's stay here where it's safe. Don't worry about that potential. Shush. Do not look behind the curtain, And that's bullshit. Hence why I really like that it's the big snooze, and i.e. BS. But that's how it is. And so I've been thinking about these past couple of days, because if you listen to Monday's show, I talked about, and non-specifically, a decision that I have made that could really fuck up my life. And my BS is losing its shit right about now. It is losing its shit. I am considering making a lot of changes in my life, and my BS does not like that at all. And I know that once I start taking actions towards these changes,